I think paying a running back just doesn't make any sense. Paying a running back big money. It was reported that Saquon Barkley wanted $16 million a year. And I don't see that making any financial sense for an NFL team. Last year, Atlanta's rookie running back, Tyler Algier, a 5th-round pick out of BYU, ran for over 1,000 yards rushing. His salary cap hit last year was less than $800,000. When you can pay a running back less than $800,000 to run for 1,000 yards, why would you pay Saquon $16 million? Now, to me, that's Saquon's one end of the spectrum, a guy getting paid a lot. Tyler Algier is the other end of the spectrum, a guy getting grossly underpaid, getting used a ton, then immediately getting replaced by Bijan Robinson, who was drafted in the 1st round by Atlanta. They used him for everything they could, and then they discarded him, right? I don't like what happened to Tyler Algier, and it's unfortunate. I don't think he's ever going to get paid for what the service he gave to Atlanta last year. But from an NFL team's perspective, that's a great value. Why would you pay a running back when you can pay them pennies and get 1,000 yards out of them? That's just a tremendous financial value. Again, the rumor is Saquon wants $16 million a year. The Lions running back, the rookie running back Jahmyr Gibbs, signed a contract that's over the course of 4 years going to pay him just over $17 million. Why would you pay Saquon $16 when you can draft Jahmyr Gibbs and pay him $17 over a 4-year span? When you can draft a running back, pay him so little, and get so much from them, why would you ever pay an older running back and give them a second contract? I mean, even if Saquon Barkley holds out and doesn't show up and doesn't play week 1, there are so many possibilities of players the Giants could sign to play running back for their football team. First of all, they just signed James Robinson, running back who in 2020 ran for over 1,000 yards as an undrafted free agent on a bad football team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? It seems like anyone can run for 1,000 yards. Not actually true, but my point is you don't need to pay Saquon that much money to get high production from him. And if Saquon doesn't show up, you could just sign a veteran running back like Dalvin Cook, who I don't think Dalvin Cook would be cheap. I think he wants to get paid, but certainly it'd be cheaper than what Saquon Barkley was asking for. And last year, Saquon Barkley ran for 1,300 yards, was 4th in rushing. Dalvin Cook was 6th in rushing last year, ran for 1,100 yards, and isn't even on an NFL team. He's available. I just think Saquon has no leverage in negotiations. He's not going to get what he wants. And, Kareem Hunt is available. Leonard Fournette is available. Here's how this is going to play out. Teams have no incentive to pay running backs ever again. Unless something changes, the way the system is set up makes a change, then we can see that happen. But right now, Bijan Robinson's going to play 4 to 5 years in Atlanta. Probably run for 1,000 yards 4 out of the 5 years, if not all 5 years. Do great, be awesome. Maybe he'll get hurt in that span, maybe not. He's going to get used as much as humanly possible, as much as Atlanta can get out of him, they're going to do. And then in 4 to 5 years, after his contract is over, he's probably not going to get paid again. Atlanta's going to replace him with a younger, cheaper option at the running back position. That's sad, but that's true. And in the coming years, all the best athletes are just going to stop playing running back. If you're a young guy in high school watching what's happened to the NFL pay scale, how much receivers are getting paid compared to how much a running back's getting paid, you're like, hey, I'm really good with the football in my hands. How about I play receiver? I can catch a little bit. How about I train a little more on running routes and get better at that craft and maybe focus less on my cuts and less on playing running back? Any really great athlete is going to shift over to receiver. That's just where the money is. That's where a better lifestyle is. You get hit less. It's better for everybody. And we're going to see, I think as time goes on, running back talent diminish slowly over time. Guys are going to learn how to run routes or maybe learn to throw the football or read a defense. I mean, right now we're already seeing the best athlete on any high school football team tends to be the quarterback now. Like, what Anthony Richardson is an unbelievable athlete, and some coach at some point in his development said, we should put a football in this guy's hands. Like, can you imagine him, teach him how to throw and read a defense, and then his threat is incredible. It started with Michael Vick, and then ever since then, high school and coaches early on in a player's development have said, maybe we shouldn't have the really unathletic guy. Yeah, he can throw, but maybe we should put the most athletic guy playing quarterback and teach him how to throw and read a defense, and we've seen things shift. We're going to see the same thing with running back. People are going to go, Hey, I don't know why I'm playing running back. I should go catch the football. I should go change positions. I'm just not going to have a good future playing running back. And even though running back talent's going to diminish, we're going to see less and less really high-level playmakers, I believe, playing running back. They're going to switch to receiver, do other stuff. There will always be running backs who are, there's always going to be someone willing to take, about $1 million a year to run the football in the NFL. That's maybe an uncomfortable reality for some, but that's still life-changing money. Like, I do a lot of things for $1 million, man. I do a lot of things for $800,000. Do you know how much my life would change trajectory-wise if someone gave me $800,000? So the NFL's not going to run out of running backs. People are always going to be willing to take that job and do that job. But again, I go back to, there is no incentive to pay a running back like Saquon Barkley when there's just so much supply out there that they are so highly replaceable. You look at the Dolphins running back room. I'm not going to make any claim that the Dolphins have a great set of running backs here in the NFL, and I don't even know if they're going to be a great rushing football team. They're going to throw the ball like a bazillion times the same way they did last year in Miami. But the Dolphins running back room, they're paying about $6 million for 4 total running backs. They're paying Devin Achane a cap hit of less than $1 million this fall. Jeff Wilson Jr.'s cap hit is about $2.2 million. Raheem Mostert is a cap hit of about $2.1 million. And then Myles Gaskin's cap hit is about $900,000, so less than $1 million. So $6 million total is what Miami's got on the salary cap for their 4 running backs. They've got 4 guys instead of 1. They're paying $10 million less than what Saquon Barkley wanted. Oh, and the injury risk is spread out over 4 people. I don't think the Dolphins are going to have an amazing dynamic running game, but they're going to run the ball okay, and they're going to throw the ball really well. They're going to have a high-powered offense. They're going to be great, and they're going to pay their running backs basically nothing. They can get away with it. I don't think the Dolphins are going to have some hamstrung offense that can't move the football this year. Travis Etienne was top 10 in rushing last year, ran for 1,125 yards. He's on a rookie deal. This fall, Travis Etienne's making $3.5 million. That's the cap hit. That's how much he's counting against the salary cap in Jacksonville. Again, nobody's going to pay a quarterback $16 million when you can get other players producing at a high level for next to nothing. Tyler Algier is almost criminal, dude. He was a less than $800,000 hit against the salary cap in Atlanta and ran for over 1,000 yards. Saquon can do other stuff. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a threat in many ways, but I just do not see any kind of reality where he gets the money he wants. And, I mean, it's too late now. We're going to have to wait to see next offseason when they renegotiate, but I honestly wonder, and I think really, I mean, the math adds up that Saquon Barkley is going to make more money on the franchise tag than he was offered, and next year he'll make like 10.09 this year, I think 12.1 next year on the franchise tag. That means Saquon's going to make about $22 million in 2 years. That's better than he probably would have got contract-wise if he gets franchise tagged 2 years in a row. But it's also possible that maybe Saquon, the best deal he was ever going to get was the one he got offered going into the year with less guaranteed money, but at some numbers he wanted. And I think for Saquon Barkley's sake, he's best to just show up week 1, have an amazing year this year. He probably won't get the long-term contract he wants, and then he'll get franchise tagged again. And then you walk away realizing, hey, I made $22 million in 2 years to be running back in the NFL. That's better than most people get. And it's a weird situation, and I find it fascinating with Saquon Barkley. So, I don't know. I don't know that we'll cover the running back situation too much the rest of the year. I don't see much more happening that we need to talk about until week 1 when we do or do not see Saquon Barkley play, probably. Maybe Dalvin Cook will go somewhere. That's some noteworthy stuff. But for the most part, I think the running back conversation now has been officially beat to death by me on this show, and I don't see us talking about it too much more. But I wanted to say that, I'm not saying I like it, but I do need to say I understand why teams don't want to pay running backs. It just doesn't make financial sense from a value proposition. Why would you pay a guy a ton of money when you can get really high-level production from players for way less? It just financially doesn't make any sense. So that's my 2 cents. I love you guys.